welcome to our show. Tonight, we will be interviewing a handful of the members of everyone's favorite team, Team Cell. I'm your host, Caitlin Hills. Tonight is a very special night. Tonight, we will be divulging into the secrets of the parts of the cell. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our first guest, Chris the Cell Member. Welcome. Thank you for coming. How are you?
Hello. Fine, thank you.
Okay, let's get down to business.
Sounds good.
Perfect. So, tell me, what exactly is the function of the cell membrane and what is its importance to the cell?
I'm the bodyguard of cancer. I protect the inside of the cell from harmful substances outside and regulate the coming and flowing of substances into and out of the cell.
Really? Next question. What are the characteristics of the cell membrane?
I am a semi-permeable membrane full of a phospholipid bilayer with hydrophilic heads, and hydrophilic tails, which makes me hard and polar and hard non-polar.
Awesome. So where is the cell membrane located?
I am the outermost layer of the cell. I surround the cell, but everything inside of the cell is contained within me.
Now I'd like to talk to you in respect to your fellow parts of the cell. For example, how are you and the cytoplasm similar? On the other hand, how are you different?
Oh, cytoplasm and I are best friends. We're so close, literally. To answer your first question, cytoplasm and I are similar because we both contain proteins and transporting materials. Also, we both keep the contents of the cell in respective places. We are different because while I am the outer layer of the cell, cytoplasm contains everything inside the cell. Also, I am mostly made of phospholipids, while the cytoplasm is made of cytosol and organelles.
Well, Chris, I think this concludes our interview. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Now for our next guest. Welcome. Hello. Happy to be here. Okay, so let's begin. For our first order of business, what is the function of the cytoplasm and why are
I'm the glue. I hold everything together, and I protect them from harmful things both inside and out of the cell.
Interesting. Next question. Where is the cytoplasm located in the cell?
I make up the inside of the cell. I fill the entire cell.
Wow. So what are the characteristics of the cytoplasm?
I'm clear, jelly-like, and I hold organelles.
That's great. Continuing on, how does the cytoplasm compare to another part of the cell? Say the cytoskeleton? Furthermore, how are you and the cytoskeleton similar?
The cytoskeleton and I are similar because we both aid the cell in keeping its shape and structure and keeping things in their correct place. We are different because I am made of water, and the cytoskeleton is made of microfilaments, microtubules, and intermediate filaments, which are all made of proteins.
Wonderful. Now, I'm going to use the cytoplasm. This concludes our time together. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Now for our next guest, the cytoskeleton. Cynthia?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you. Because we only have a small amount of time, I'd like to get started.
Sure thing.
First question, what is the function of the cytoskeleton and how are you important to Team Cell?
Oh, I'm basically here for moral support. I aid in cell division and cell movement. I make sure the cell keeps its proper shape. I support the cell, and I am also involved in the transcript of organelles.
Sounds like you have an important job.
I like to think so.
Second question, where is the cytoskeleton located?
Inside the cytoplasm, I am composed of microfilaments, microtubules, and intermediate filaments.
Interesting. So what are the characteristics of the cytoskeleton?
Well, my different parts have different characteristics. Microtubules are hollow and tube-shaped. Microfilaments, threads, and intermediate filaments are rod-like structures.
Wow. Final question, how do you relate to the nucleus? Tell us your similarities and differences.
What do I say about the nucleus and I? We're not really close, but I suppose we're alike in some ways. For example, we both are composed of different parts and work together for cell division and transcribing organelles. On the other hand, we're different because I am rod, thread, or tube-shaped, while the nucleus is round. Also, the nucleus contains DNA, which I do not.
Well, that's about it. Thank you, Cynthia. For our next guest, come on, the only Nikki Nuclear.
Thank you. Gracias. How are you?
Thank you for coming. Shall we get started?
Sounds good. Fire away.
Will do. So, what is the function of the nucleus? Why are you important to team cell?
I contain DNA and transcribe it into RNA. I also direct all of the cell activities, and I am considered the brain of the cell. And I run this operation, which is why I'm rather important to the survival of the cell.
Wow, being the nucleus sounds like a hard job.
Oh, it is, but don't worry. I have everything under control.
Glad to hear it. So, where is the nucleus located in the cell?
I am inside the cytoplasm, near the center of the cell. I'm right next to the endoplasm reticulum.
And what are the characteristics of the nucleus?
Good question. I'm a spherical organelle surrounded by a double membrane known as the nuclear envelope, which is made of two phospholipid bilayers. My nucleoplasm resembles the cell's cytoplasm. It's everything contained in the nucleus. In addition, the dense part of the nucleus, the nucleolus, is where the DNA is stored and transformed into RNA.
Interesting. So, for our final question, how is the nucleus similar and different to the carrier protein?
Well, unlike me, carrier proteins transport molecules across the cell membrane, whereas I hold DNA and change it into RNA. However, we are similar because a lot of substances pass through the nucleus.
Thank you, Ms. Nucleus.
Thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, for our final guest, Charlie the carrier protein.
Thank you.
How are you?
You know something, Caitlin? I'm not feeling too well. I feel as if I'm being used.
Good one.
After all, I am just a chauffeur, always moving other molecules back and forth in and out of the cell.
Sorry to hear that.
It's quite alright. That's my job out there.
Well, tonight, Charlie, you're the star.
Actually, I'm a protein.
Of course. So, now, what are your characteristics as a protein?
Well, right. Well, you see, I bind to ions and phosphate groups in order to change my shape and allow passage and fluid out of the cell. Once the phosphate binds to me, I float. Then when it falls off, I go back to my original shape.
I bet no other part of the cell can say that, but I have to know, how are you and the cell membrane similar? And then, what are your differences?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. You see, the cell membrane and I work very close. We are similar because we both allow molecules to pass through unassociated. We are different, however, because the cell membrane has both polar and non-polar parts, which means that a lot of substances can't get through. That, of course, is where I come.
Well, that's all for our show tonight. Thank you, Mr. Carrier Protein. I'm Caitlin Haas. This was our show. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.